regarding the use of IaC, is not only the tooling that you use, that the tool chain that you're using is that a personal preference that depends on the skill set of your team. I mean, your team is you're having AWS heavy users, and maybe you can stick with CloudFormation because it's your tool of choice, and it's a no-brainer for you because you know the tool and you know how to use it. And again, is supported by AWS. When it comes to if you are working with different clouds, which is now seems to be the trend for many people, you can use Terraform because Terraform is cloud agnostic, and it can be used for many cloud providers. Okay. And the thing is that regarding the tooling for using for building AKS clusters, you can use, if you use Terraform, you can use the well-known, there are well-known modules that you can use in order to that. Okay, these kind of modules, I will put the links on the chat. Okay, and these kind of modules, a long time, they are complex modules, but the thing is that the good thing is that there are many support from the community. They are backed by AWS as well. And the thing is that you can use those modules to build your AKS cluster in a safe way. And as well, the AWS provides some kind of AKS blueprints that you can use to construct everything together. Okay, so the thing is that you have some kind of special requirements for some kind of add-ons that you would like to add to your cluster, some kind of fancy deployments that you would like to incorporate to your clusters, to your running clusters. You can check these blueprints because they provide some instructions on Terraform code that you can adapt or reuse in your environments. And regarding the use, there are many tools that can be used with Terraform. There are many that can be used for using Terraform for IaC at scale, not just a single engineer working on that. So there is a huge ecosystem of tools that you can use in order to help you with implementing on the use of Carpenter in your systems, not only for clusters, but for any other things. And and the thing is that there are new tools that comes into play. You can check Pulumi if you are. Pulumi takes the same approach as Carpenter, but Pulumi, it uses general programming languages for declaring your assets and try to deploy your assets into the cloud providers. But in my humble opinion, when I tested, it does a mismatch because you're using a general programming language which has many possibilities, but you're sticking to using an imperative language most of the time. And then such as Python, such as Java, such as Golang or Node.js, whichever the language of your choice. And later, but you have to adapt to be declarative. So there's a mismatch there, and then you are limiting yourself into using a library, and the library that is provided, it greatly limits how you can use the language. So for me, it would be better to use a declarative language that was thought to be a declarative language from the beginning, such as HCL with Terraform. And then it would be better but again, depends on your team and how your team knows about it. But if I have to stick with only one tool, I will prefer Terraform. And unless there's a trend of technologies that are used Kubernetes to deploy infrastructure, such as Crossplane, but you might definitely take a look at it, because the thing is that if you are very familiar with the concept of Kubernetes controllers, it works the same way. You declare your manifests, and your manifests are Kubernetes manifests. You can use GitOps, you can Argo CD and you can use those tooling that are around the GitOps and the Kubernetes in order to build your infrastructure. You don't need a different tool, but you need a working AKS cluster to deploy and to use this Crossplane.